Okay, go.
Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project365, episode 245. Today what we're talking about is how can we use a textured mobility device to kind of aid our journey of constantly staying mobile, constantly working through those fascial layers and stuff. So here's what we got today. We have this textured mobility ball, and the thing that I really like about it, okay, is it kind of like grips really well. So you can kind of see if I just use this on my wrist, right, I can really take up some tissue tension, some tissue slack, okay, and I can do some great things with this that I can't do with some of the other mobility devices out there because they really don't give you that grip. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to demonstrate how we'd use it when we're doing kind of a fascial glide between the triceps and the biceps itself, right? So all the attempt to do is to increase the gliding surfaces between those two tissues, because remember, as the biceps contracts, the tricep has to lengthen, right? So that relationship should be really lubricated, should be really smooth in between those sliding tissues, in between the interstitial surfaces of those two tissues that are sliding against each other. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to end up hitting both sides. I'm going to show you first on the inside of the arm because it's just easier for you to see, and then you'll get the picture, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start. We're going to work 3 different locations, both insertion and origin, and then the middle of the muscle belly. And what I want you to notice is, see how I twist the tissue like that? What I'm doing is, twist the ball. As I twist the ball, I'm taking up all that tissue slack, and then that allows me to then flex and extend using this range of motion, right? But I'm using my arm, the movement of my arm, to really just mobilize the fascia. I'm not really beating down on the tissue like we tend to see with a lot of our other mobilizations. All I'm trying to do is do a gentle fascial glide and really just try to work on increasing the gliding properties of the tissues that we're kind of taking up that tension in. So if I need a little bit more pressure, what I do is I just sit on it with my hip. But when I do that, I still need to be able to take up that tissue glide. And you can kind of see right there, if you look close, I'm still taking up that tissue slack before I go ahead and do that glide. As I go up a little bit higher to the top part, I'm still doing the same thing. Now, if I use that same principle and go to the other side of my arm, I can just use the weight of my body. But again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the twist in the ball so I can really just get some of that torque, that tissue, or get some of that slack wound up. And then I just go ahead and I do my regular flexion and extension. We don't have to go through extreme ranges of motion here because remember, we're not necessarily working on mashing up those tissues like we do with a lot of our other mobilizations. We're just working on freeing up any fascial tension that might be there, that might be restricting the movement that we're trying to do with our muscles themselves. So this is a great way to show you how we can just use fascial pulls, fascial winding with a mobility ball that's textured to increase the gliding properties between our tissues, kind of free those things up, allow ourselves to work a little bit more efficiently. Guys, until tomorrow, we're optimizing function to optimize performance.